doing what you're doing and you have this goal of it, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you know there's a larger purpose at the end of the, at the end of the tunnel per se.
Exactly.
But you're having fun doing it. I think that's the most important thing. Doing what you do, right?
Exactly.
If you can provide value, even better. But you gotta generally be happy with what you're doing, because then why are you doing it?
100%. Yeah, and there's no reason to.
There's like you've lost the purpose of it at that point.
For me, it's like you hear like you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like I
Right.
feel like it's like being creative and stuff, something like this is like maybe you wouldn't have seen happen or be possible, but
Right.
like seeing this and actually seeing it kind of grow and stuff, it makes me think, man, maybe one day like this could be like the full time. This could be
Exactly.
like
You
what
don't know where it's
suffices,
gonna take. You really don't know where it's gonna take you. What's up, everybody? We're back for the Stay Tranquilo podcast today. We got the man behind FriDADE. As you guys probably know, FriDADE is a pretty big page here in Miami. It's kind of blown up down here, and he's got it repped on there on his left. We got that caps down here as well. So Kev, we want to hear about FriDADE. Let the people know a little bit about FriDADE, what it's all about, and then you can get into a little bit about yourself.
All right, how's it going, guys? My name's Kevin. So I started FriDADE basically like just with some friends, like kind of just surprised them almost. Like I had a friend that gave me the idea of, yo, why don't you just take some pictures and edit them and, just go with it and see how people react. And literally one Friday I was like, let me grab some pictures, some fun pictures, some that may not have been up already on social media, and kind of just put it out there. Didn't tell anyone I was doing it. And it kind of got like, who is this? Who's behind this kind of stuff? And from there, it kind of like grew, like it was close friends. And then as people saw it, it was start sending in pictures and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just like kind of taken off a little bit in my perspective.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's definitely admirable to see. It's cool to see how people are posting it on their stories and kind of sharing it on their pages. And you see the FriDADE on. It's like almost like on Friday now, that you're gonna see a FriDADE post somewhere. Whether it's on the page, someone sharing it, like it's cool. It's cool. And we were talking about it before, that it's like a representation, like, hey, it's the weekend, and this is what we do on the weekend. And you made I think a good point too, where it was like, it's the pictures that not everyone's gonna post on their social media pages, because like that's not what they're gonna display, but it's gonna be like the raw, organic, authentic pictures of people just having a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
Definitely, yeah. It's like, it's not the authentic, the aesthetically all the way pleasing that people are like,
right.
Oh, like, are people like on Instagram gonna care about this? Like, it's the ones like, have fun, like, you're living your best life. You don't care if it's gonna make it on, but like when it does, you're like,
exactly.
It's awesome. And even more so, like, I like to surprise people. I like to put it like, they tell me all the time, like, I see a tag
and
and
a notification, they're like,
I don't know. Well, they get happy, but they're like, I'm kind of scared. I don't know.
True,
I don't know what
true.
it is. I haven't sent you pictures, but it's fun.
Yeah.
We have a good time with it, and just keep growing and keep posting more pictures and stuff.
So where did you get the name FriDADE from? Like obviously Dade County, Miami representation, but what was kind of like the thought process when you were making the name?
Yeah, so like me and my friends, we like to go out on Friday and stuff, and like that's like you said earlier, like that's where we target like Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, you're like, can't wait to get to Friday.
Right, yeah. You're grinding all week and you're tired and you've had a long week. The first thing you're thinking about is like, hell yeah, it's Friday.
Exactly. Even if it's Thursday, it's not that it's Thursday or it's officially Thursday, it's almost Friday.
Right.
So,
True.
And then we kind of went from there, and it was like, how can we make like a name for this? Like, you always have to have a name that like sticks out,
Right.
Like you guys have a great name here, like, so we kind of was just throwing it around, and then like someone kind of said it, and it was like, it just clicked, and I'm like,
yeah.
I've never heard anyone say it before, and like, it sounds pretty cool in my opinion, like,
yeah,
because it's very Miami-Dade, like we're proud of like where we are and stuff, like having the Dade in something and then like turning into another word, like I think it worked out pretty well.
It's true. I mean, the Dade County representation is strong. You got Only in Dade. Obviously, that's been like a big social media page, and people rally around being from Miami. We kind of, identify ourselves as like one of a kind, I guess you can say. At least it feels that way. I'm sure maybe people from other places, but there's something about being from Miami and like Dade County where I don't know, we feel like we stand out like a sore thumb. Like Miami is Miami, and like Miami is unique as unique can get. And the things that you see on that Only in Dade page are like,
like you literally only see it here.
Exactly.
Like,
and I don't see any like only an LA page or, you know, like maybe they are, but like they're like at a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like you have people probably from all over the US following Only in Dade, not because they relate to it on like an everyday basis, because they're generally entertained by like, what am I going to see today?
Yeah.
And what the hell's happening?
I have boys from New York that they came down, they visited, saw the page, and they still follow it. They're up there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
let's see what's happening in Miami today.
It's crazy.
It's
yeah.
insane.
No, and Only in Dade, I think, has obviously done a great job of like obviously bringing in like that authenticity of like what Miami's all about, and I mean they've expanded into like news now where they're talking about like local news, and I mean it's just basically people similar to like what you're doing submitting their crazy videos about what happened in Miami that day, right? Where it's like, hey, there's a helicopter, or you know, there was a shooting here, or look at these guys on the highway, or the comment that we all thought was like a UFO, you know, like something crazy. And then it just goes viral on there because everyone saw the same thing, you know, or a good amount of people saw the same thing. So like your page is generally very similar in the fact that you're getting a lot of submissions to your page of like, hey, you know, this is us having a good time on a Friday, you know, anywhere in Miami. And Miami is obviously known to, you know, for the going out and good times.
Yeah, so I just want to be like not really the party page,
yeah, but like represent Fridays.
Having a good time. Yeah. Like just like in general, like you're getting ready for the day to come, and then it happens, it comes.
Right.
And then even officially game date, or you know, everything.
True.
Bro,
yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of cool, unique kind of twists, you know, that you can add to it. Like it's almost game day. I think that's an awesome one. Obviously, almost Friday. I saw you did something with like Monday Mood or something.
Yeah,
something
Monday
like
Mood. You know, showing the aftermath, aftermath of the weekend.
Sunday Scaries obviously is a big thing too.
Yeah, I even have one that I do Text Tuesdays, and I grab from different people that I know, and I'll put it on the page, and then in the stories I put 4 different people that it could be, and you go and you vote on who it was, like knowing who they are.
That's good.
And they get pretty funny. Like you're like,
I get that. So how does that work? Do you get people to allow you to obviously use those texts, or?
Yeah, well, I don't leave any names in it.
Right, of course. So no one knows who's who.
No one knows who it is. Sometimes it's from my own phone. Sometimes people will submit them, but it's fun because like I know who also like would want to be, or not want to be, or who doesn't mind being. Sometimes you like it gets a little to the point that like I don't want to be associated with that.
I know there's I follow like Barstool FSU page, and they do something similar. I think they do Text Tuesdays too. I think is what it's called. And there's just some crazy messages in there, or like Tinder Tuesdays. I think is what it is.
I've seen them all. And it's like
it's wild the messages that go on there, and it's just cool because it's just extremely entertaining.
Yeah, and I make it more personal that I put people that like everyone kind of knows like there. Obviously, if it gets bigger, like people won't know as much, but like especially when I first started, it was like I could see this person saying it. Yeah. And I have people. So who said this kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
the curiosity.
People are even like that they did say it, or like. Who said this, or did I say this? And it was like, yeah, you said that.
Actually did.
You said that. So,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
We have a good time.
That's cool. So what does a typical Friday look like for Kevin? Like what's the go-to move for you guys?
Man, we try to mix it up. You know, it is easier now, especially like with the Grove and the Gables.
I love the Grove.
Easiest one is Regatta now.
That is like, so you're a big Regatta guy.
Every other week, probably every other weekend.
Really? Damn.
You got to mix in a little Kudas or Bodega.
Absolutely.
You know, and then if not, you're going to the Gables, and you're either going to the bar, classic.
Okay. Yep.
Or
classic.
Coyo Taco.
Okay.
And now actually they opened a place called Thorn right there off Bird. It's kind of close to here.
Really?
And it's a nice cocktail bar area. They have Crybaby ice cream. Have you heard of it?
Thorn. It's where the railroad apartments are. Yeah. So I've been meaning to check it out.
Yeah. They have a nice happy hour there too. So it's like you start 4 to 7. You can go there. And then the night continues.
The night is young at that point.
Yeah, I am more of a Friday partier than a Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturdays are more chill, you know, especially from what happens
right,
on
if you
Friday,
exactly, you go hard on Friday, Saturdays are always going to be more chill. If you didn't go so hard on Friday, then usually Saturdays become like almost like let's start drinking at 11 a.m.
Exactly.
And see where the day takes us from
there.
there.
We're day drinkers here in Miami, like especially like going on a boat or a beach or something.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah,
pool.
weather's great.
That's what I would prefer to do on a Saturday than go out. I
Yeah,
would say.
no,
Like,
me too. I'm a more like, I mean, I'm also, I'm not old, but like I've gotten older, so I've like less, I've gotten less inclined to want to go out. You know, like to me, it's
Yeah.
just, it's a chore. It almost feels like,
Mm.
but like regatta, I like because it's on the water. It's a nice vibe. But if I had to choose like an area, the Grove is like my area. I'm a big Kudas guy. Like I love just I can hang out there on the
Definitely.
you know in the picnic tables. They got the music. You got the pool table there. Like that's my vibe. Like more of like that kind of dive bar-y situation. I'm not a club head like at all. So you
Yeah.
won't catch me ever at a club. If you see me there, it's either someone's birthday or it's an event. Like, and it's not my birthday, I'll tell you that much, or not my event. So, like,
Yeah.
for me, that's just not my scene. But I think Miami's done a better job of creating almost that more bar-y
Definitely.
nightlife.
Yeah,
Because
we don't have to go to the Wynwood de Brickles or even the
thank
beach
God,
where we were
thank
going
God. Dude, I
in
used to go
college
to the
and
beach
stuff like that.
almost every weekend. It was Rick's and
And Purdy.
Purdy,
Yeah.
Rick's. What was the one that was right next to Rick's? I don't remember what it was called
Yeah,
now.
there was-
But it was automatic. It was start at the bar. From the bar, you went to, no. It was, start at the bar because the girls drink for free. And then from the bar, you would go to Tarpon Bend.
Oh my, that's right.
And
Get
then
the coins. And
yeah,
stuff like
exactly. You get the little chips. And then from Tarpon Bend, you would go either back to the bar or to the wharf or to a pregame. One of those three things. Usually it was the wharf. Then you would drink at the wharf till midnight. And then it was Purdy after. And you would stay till Purdy till 4 in the morning. And then get in like a 50-minute Uber ride back home. Like just
Yeah.
exhausted.
Now having a bodega in the Grove, like
I know. No.
we used to have to go all the way to the beach over there.
Exactly.
Like,
I think that's what was actually next to Rick's. It was a bodega.
Bodega.
It was a bodega. Yeah. We used to go to the beach all the time. But bringing back the Grove was a huge win for Miami. I think it really elevated the nightlife here. They have also really good restaurants there, which I think is dope because obviously like cuisine is good here, but you like a nice out, a nice cocktail bar, like you were saying. I think it gives you a little bit of diversity about what you could do. You could go to the little raunchy sandbar right there and pound some beers there and watch some football, or you can go down to Kudas, which is more dive bar. You can go to Bodega, which is club. You can go to Taurus, which is like a cool little, I guess it's not a lounge. It's a bar, but
it's like a mix kind of thing,
exactly. Different ambiance. And then you have all the restaurants there with Key Club and,
it's
and
a
all
little bit of
that.
everything. It's
You
funny
got-
because it's all in the middle. It's all
Exactly.
together. Like,
And it's crazy. Like you're partying, and then there's families there at dinner having their ice cream. Like you have everything going on.
we do a big group of like 50 to 60 of us for 4th of July weekend. We do dads on the 4th.
I think I saw you actually that weekend.
We all dress like dads that would dress up on the 4th of July,
Nice.
like polos, whatever, the Old Navy shirts.
Hell yeah.
And we started tours, and then you walk to Kudas, and you're like passing all these like nice restaurants, Green Street, and all these, and you're there in like the getup. I had George on boots, like
It went
yeah,
all
it's like you
out.
said. But like then you go there
It's a
and you
good
start
time.
bouncing around. You have a great time over there.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. So obviously now, how long have you been doing FriDADE now?
So about a year and a half. I started
Year and a half.
about at the end of 2022.
Okay. What are some of the things since you've started it that you would say that you've learned from just kind of like starting your own thing?
Yes, I kind of learned like to like be more interactive with people and stuff. Like I'm already like a pretty social guy with people, but like it was cool to like branch out and kind of create something that people enjoy and
Right.
like, especially like content wise and stuff. Like they see it and they're reposting it. If I make the merch of the hats, they're like, yo, where do I get a hat? Where do I get a shirt from?
Right.
It's cool. It's like people seeing me out, yo, FriDADE.
Yeah.
It's like it's awesome. Like I enjoy it.
It's cool, right? Of course, 100%. And I think you hit something good. Like it takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, where you're not just doing the same thing every day. Like you're being creative, right? Like you're thinking of like, okay, what am I gonna post today for FriDADE, or what am I gonna post today for Text Tuesdays, and
Exactly.
what's gonna be funny, or engaging to my audience. Like it takes a different wiring in your head to kind of think that way and put yourself out there, because you're doing something like you said that you enjoy, that makes you think a little bit different, that provides entertainment to people, and that's value, right? Like we're so stuck and caught up in all the things that we got to do on an everyday basis, right? And like sometimes I think we forget to have fun and just go out and enjoy, right? Like we obviously have our responsibilities and we have things that are important and those will forever be important, but it doesn't mean that you can't have fun in the process of it, right? Like I think people forget that like it's not about the destination, it's about enjoying like every single day as much as you can to the fullest. And that doesn't mean you have to go party every day, but like go out and enjoy it. Like laugh a little bit, you know, have some fun, hang out with your friends, do the little things in between, and it's gonna make life that much more enjoyable.
Exactly. It's just a way to get away and like just see some fun content that like it's also personal in a way because you probably either know the person that I'm posting or someone does, you know, and it's fun. Like you get a personal connection with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I enjoy it a lot, and the creativity comes out, you know, like on the different days, you know, what you put, what picture you put on which day, you know, like it all comes together. But like it's been great so far, you know. Absolutely. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. So what's been the best experience that you've had since, like, or coolest thing that's happened since starting FriDADE?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like it's a mixture of like kind of starting the event things that I was telling you about, kind of like the tailgate thing, like yo, where's the FriDADE tailgate this weekend? And getting probably close to like 100 people there, and it's like this is crazy, and like me going around taking pictures of people that they know are gonna be on the page with a flag, you know, like just having a good time. Like you say for FriDADE, and like they'll go from a smiling picture to like, you know, like they're going crazy, you know, it's a crazy thing. I started posting like kind of Miami influencers and Miami figures and stuff like that, and that was a cool concept to do. That like I had some of them actually repost or like the pictures, so I thought that was also a cool concept and that they kind of like it as well, you know?
Yeah, no, it's dope. Like we were kind of talking about it. I mean, when you start these things, you don't really know who you're gonna cross paths with along the way. You know, they might resonate with something that you posted, and you know, obviously that post was maybe never directed towards them, but it just had some sort of affinity towards them, and they were like, you know what, I like this. This is cool. And then all of a sudden, you build a connection with that person, and then you never know where those relationships with these people go to. Like people forget, and we were talking about this, like celebrities, athletes, you know, and the reason I do that, not to take anything away from them, but the reality is they're normal people at the end of the day, right? Like they have normal lives.
And they want to be treated normal too.
And they want to be treated normal, and they want to hang out with normal people that just like them for them, you know? And
100%.
the more they see that, and they see that like organic side of people, and they're saying like, you know what, this is cool. This guy's doing something that, you know, he's having fun with it. And they want to gravitate to things that are lighthearted. They're not so serious, right? Because again, when we were talking about, it's like, it's always so serious, right? Like every day we try to make everything so serious, and yet it's really not that serious. So when they see things like that, they'll be like, you know what? I like this guy. Like, you know, he's cool. He's enjoying his stuff. He's having a good time. Like people want to be around people that are having a good time.
Exactly. And they deal with a lot of superficial stuff as well, I imagine. Absolutely. So you give them some genuine like time together, and it's like, oh, it's kind of cool. You know, he's not here just because of my name. He's here, you know, to get to know you and stuff like that. So it's cool, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So what do you want to do next with the brand, right? Because you've been posting obviously a lot of pictures, and people have been sharing the pictures, and it has the FriDADE post, and it's done well from a social standpoint. So what if people that follow you or don't follow you, like what would they want to expect coming from FriDADE, and like maybe some things that you're ready to launch soon?
Yeah, so I've had people, they come to me and they're like, they want events. They want stuff that they can go to that they feel like is sponsored by FriDADE, or like something that like we can all get together, which I think is a great idea. You know, just coming together with it, doing sort of a bar crawl maybe, or doing golf invitationals and stuff like that. FriDADE invitational. People are like, we can get who knows how many people out there to do that. You know, in Miami, we're all golfers here. We all like to have a good time, drinking on the course. You know, just trying to be good at golf. So.
We tell ourselves we're good, but we're not that good.
Yeah, but it's just trying to grow it and get the brand out there. You know, I think the more you see your logo out there, even if like at first like I love to like make money on merch, but it's like I'd rather just see the logo out there.
Right.
I'd rather like personally see people actually wearing it because they want to.
You're out and you see someone wearing your merch or something like that.
Exactly. Like I posted this shirt the other day, like I was selling it, and like I had someone in Wisconsin like, oh, will you send it to me? I'm like. You bet your ass I will, you know.
Well, that's the cool thing about, you know, because if you're thinking from the outside in, right, and you're like, oh, it's FriDADE, it'll only work in Miami. That's not how it works, because Miami's a national brand. Maybe even you can even make the argument a global brand, right? Because pretty much everyone knows Miami. People come into Miami, so it's like you're a Miami brand, but people want to rep Miami outside of Miami too, right? Whether they came on vacation or they just, they kind of fuck with Miami and they love the vibe there and they love the atmosphere, they're going to represent what they like, right? And if that's Miami and FriDADE is a Miami brand, they're going to be like, you know what? This was cool. I went to this event when I was in Miami, right? Like, look, and I wish I could think of a better example right now, but the best example that's coming to my head is 11, right? Like 11 is a national brand. People come into Miami, they go to 11 on a night out, and then they go back to wherever country or place that they're from, and they're repping 11.
They got the hats on. You'll see them at games and stuff.
You'll see it everywhere, right? Exactly. And that's just a brand. At the end of the day, they've built a brand, right? Whatever the experience is and what they represent, that's their identity, And the people that represent it because they have a familiarity and a connection to that brand, whether just they visited it or they like their experience, whatever that might be. For you, it's the same thing. They go to a FriDADE event or they saw a FriDADE post, they were featured in a FriDADE post. They might not live here, but they're like, you know what? I like the concept behind FriDADE. I like Miami. I'll buy a shirt and I'll be living in California or something like that.
Exactly. That for me is awesome.
It's not something that's like, just Miami. It's more of like a representation. And then from there, I mean, anybody can rep it.
Yeah, and even the people that leave Miami, like, for work
Absolutely.
or school
Those
or
are the people
whatever,
that are more passionate than ever.
they're the ones that, like, whatever brings them back, you know?
Yeah.
And my brother's friend, they were in Germany, and they went to the Dolphins game.
Nice.
And he had the shirt, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like,
that's sick.
For me, it was like, I showed you, my brother went to the Kansas City game, like, with the FriDADE Dolphins flag.
That's
like,
dope.
For me, it's like, that's awesome. Like,
That is. It is, dude. And it's great exposure. I mean, people see that and they'll be like, what the hell is that? And it builds that curiosity, and curiosity leads to, to fans and people trying to figure out what it is that you're doing.
That's the best. They're like, yo, I like that. It's nice. Even like older people, even people like, oh, I get it.
Of course, dude. Absolutely.
Like, you're like, if they get it and they respect it and they like it.
Absolutely. It is not limited to just, people in their 20s and lower 30s. Like,
exactly.
It's timeless. Yeah, I mean, from our grandparents would probably rep something like that,
Yeah, I have aunts and uncles that
Dade County is Dade County. That hasn't changed.
It goes back to the passion. Like 305,
Absolutely.
Miami-Dade, it's not just Miami-Dade, the whole thing, the whole county.
100%. So now that you've been doing this for a year and a half, right? Let's say I'm someone that wants to start an Instagram page or a brand or something like that, right? Something along the lines like this. I want to start something. What would be, 2-3 things that you would recommend to somebody to kickstart their growth or just even get it started?
So first I would say, like, kind of familiarize yourself with, like, small business. I think is a really important thing. I'm fortunate enough that, like, I've been able to work in a couple that, like, I feel like wherever you work, you always take something with you.
Absolutely.
And then you learn from it. And I still work right now with a small company, but
I think that's a good point. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think people forget that it doesn't just happen overnight, and it's not an overnight success, right? These are things that sometimes maybe they look like it, and the illusion of it is that, but a lot of these people have been doing it for 10, 15 years, and you just didn't see them for the 10, 15 years because they were small and not relevant maybe, and then they blew up, right? For whatever reason that may be. But a lot of them were working a full-time job, or at least having side hustles while they were doing this, or just having some sort of income because they had bills to pay. Like, it doesn't just happen, right? Like, you work on it when you can work on it, and you give it the attention that you ultimately choose to give it. But at the end of the day, responsibilities and things of importance are still important. But you obviously enjoy this, so you keep doing it. And if it turns into something, even better.
Exactly, yeah. And I would say, like, another thing would be, like, just being passionate about what you're posting. Like, we were talking about it as well, the dedication, consistency of doing it. Like, if you don't really care to do it, then you're not going to be like, let's go and, like, get home from work and let's work on this, Like, it's not really going to motivate you to do that if you're not passionate about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important.
There was something that one day, I always like to journal and write down things because it's just a good way to, like, for me to, like, get thoughts on paper. And it was like the flow chart that I basically created was like passion leads to purpose, purpose leads to progress, and progress leads to results, right? It's not leading you to the destination, but because you're passionate about something, you've now identified yourself with a sense of purpose, right? Because it's something that you care about and it's something that you genuinely enjoy, right? And that passion is going to lead you to progress one day at a time, right? One brick at a time. You're not building the whole structure at once, right? You build a building, takes layers to it, right? There's a foundation that needs to be built, and then there's the first floor, and then there's a second floor, and yada yada yada, right? Like there's progress that has to be made, and then in the process of that progress is where you're seeing the results, right? You made progress yesterday, you see results today, right? And vice versa the next day and the next day and the next day.
You're always learning.
There's always something,
mistake,
right?
You're still...
And guess what? You might make a mistake on the way, right? Fix that mistake. Might have to take a couple bricks off and re-put them back on and put them on a different brick, right? And keep going and keep going and keep going. And so you don't really hit an end destination, right? It's just like, okay, I got to maybe where that goal was, and now what else is there to do, right? It might be something different, you know? You might have achieved what you wanted to achieve, and then you have a different purpose at that time, right? And you have a different passion at that time. It's like, it's the seasonalities of life, and you're gonna learn things along the way, but you can't be so caught up waiting to fucking build the top of that building, right? Like, have fun while you're building the building. And I think that's the most important thing about it. And I think a lot of people forget about that, right? When they're building something, it's like, hey, I want to build this because I want to make a ton of money, or I want to build this because I want to be famous. And there's nothing wrong with that. But by the way, it's not going to happen overnight. So when you're on year 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever year, there is no definite time frame where you might hit where you want to hit that goal. You can't forget to enjoy it through the process. If not, you're not gonna hit the top.
Yeah, you're gonna look back at it and be like,
well, even if you get there, you're gonna be like, dude, I've been miserable my whole fucking life doing this, and then you're gonna lose motivation, right? Yeah. If you're not happy doing what you're doing and you have this goal of it, yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but you know there's a larger purpose at the end of the tunnel per se. But you're having fun doing it. I think that's the most important thing. Doing what you do, right? If you can provide value, even better. But you gotta generally be happy with what you're doing, because then why are you doing it?
100%. Yeah, and there's no reason to.
You've lost the purpose of it at that point.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. And I would say last point on that, like on the starting of doing a page and stuff, is like, for me, it's like you hear like you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like I feel like it's like being creative and stuff, something like this is like maybe you wouldn't have seen happen or be possible, but like seeing this and actually seeing it kind of grow and stuff, it makes me think, man, maybe one day like this could be like the full time. This could be like,
you don't know where it's gonna take. You really don't know where it's gonna take you. Even if it's not FriDADE, maybe it leads you to start something else, and it's like, I would have never started that if I didn't start FriDADE, or you never know where it's gonna take you. But right now that it's like, hey, you know what? I like doing this. This is fun. People like it. It's growing. It's catching traction. And I think to me, that's like the number one sign. Like if it's gaining traction, you're clearly doing something right, and you're probably onto something, in the long run. Exactly. So it's like, just keep doing it, keep tweaking it. And like I said, you don't know where the fuck it's going to go.
That's the plan, man. I mean, I'm having fun now, and I just hope that it keeps growing.
Absolutely.
And naturally, and just people, reposting, wearing the brand and stuff, just because they want to,
Yeah.
It's not even me forcing it. It's like, hey, like,
you never want to force it. It should always come organically to the people. You either fuck with it or you don't. And and that's as simple as it is. Because when you try to do too much to kind of like alter who you are as a brand or as a person to mold to what you think the people want, then you've lost your identity completely, because now your identity is strictly on what you think people want.
Yeah.
And usually you're wrong about what the people want, right? So it's like, just be as true and authentic as to who you are and the things that you like to do and you like to represent. And the people that appreciate that and like that will naturally come, Might come with 3 people at once, but hey, you got 3 fans,
Yeah.
3's better than 0.
100%. Slowly but surely.
Exactly. Little by little.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, I know obviously we have the sports podcast, so I want to talk a little sports.
Okay.
The people don't know you're actually a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
How are you a Patriots fan, but you represent my FriDADE?
Man, my friends don't like that I run a Miami page and I'm not.
And you're a Boston fan. Are you a Boston everything fan? Oh God.
It's a mix, and it's just not okay. It's not good.
I want to hear this.
My family,
I'm actually curious.
My family does root for Boston. My dad is a Celtics fan.
Is your dad from Boston?
He's not from Boston. It was more of just like growing up. You just follow what your parents do and what your grandparents do.
You sound like my boy Polo.
My grandfather was favorite player ever, Ted Williams. It's like
Boston.
It
was more of like a player
Boston,
thing.
Hands down. For me, the Patriots, like, it was just part of the Boston thing. They were doing well, kind of. They didn't really.
So you were a bandwagon kid, basically.
Kind of, yeah. I would admit it, but at a 6 years old and
yeah. Why not? You made the right decision.
Man, and sticking with it. Now I'm
now you're
writing
kinda-
it.
you're
Now
kinda-
like I'm
yeah.
in where everyone else has been, but
Yeah.
people try and mess with me. And I'm like, look, I had a great 20 years. Like I can have like the next 20 years be sucky, but like
Yeah.
I always have something to look back on. So
Absolutely. I mean, look, I've been a Dolphin fan my whole life. Yeah, we're technically better than the Patriots, but my life has been miserable for 28 years, you know?
yeah, I try my best not to argue with people because one, I'm not
It's-
gonna get anywhere
yeah.
with it, and be like
What are you going to argue at this point? It's like
Man.
Tom Brady owned us for 15 years. Like, that's a fact, you know? But
all my friends that they
we
would
still
come
haven't won a
to my
playoff game. We
yeah,
have the longest playoff drought in all major
I know.
sports. All of them. Baseball, hockey, fucking football, everything.
I know being behind the Lions and Browns is kind of tough
Right.
and something.
And then the Lions choked it up.
Yeah, hey,
They've
but-
never been to a Super Bowl. At least we've been to a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
We still also own the record for the only undefeated season, for whatever the hell that's worth in the 70s.
My 10-year-old self was pretty upset
Yeah.
when the Patriots in 07, but we don't have to talk about that. But
Yeah.
during the Super
That
Bowl
was big,
games,
it's true.
I would have Super Bowl parties, and people wanted to see a party. So I'm not gonna name names, but there was some Dolphins fans that were like, "The Patriots do win. We're gonna pop bottles and
Yeah.
we're gonna stay up till."
Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? That was every Dolphin fan. If you're a Dolphin fan, there was zero. Like you can't be a Dolphin fan and have gone for the Patriots in that game. Like
Oh, 100%.
you had to have been a Giants fan there. I was. I don't know, maybe 11 years old. Was it 2007?
Yeah,
So I was-
2007,
I was
2008.
11, 12 years old. We were celebrating like crazy.
Exactly.
As 11-year-olds, like at my boy's apartment in Key Biscayne, like with our families, and we were just ecstatic. I think we woke up. You could hear people screaming from the
Yeah.
other balconies. It was a big day.
I mean, that's the Dolphins thing. Like, if that's taken, you know.
I think it's Zonka. He pops like a champagne
I
bottle.
think they all do.
Every time that, like, even if it's the regular season, like if someone's 8-0 and they lose
Yeah.
that game, boom, it's a celebration.
It's awesome. It's a great thing. I'm happy
Keep
for you guys.
holding it
have-
until you can't anymore. It's definitely something. I mean, it's lasted a while. Do you think it'll get broken, right?
You always think it will every year, but
And the seasons are obviously longer, so it's
you
obviously
got another
harder.
game to it.
Yeah.
Thing is, I just feel like every year, like sports, like
tough.
the
It's
athletes
tough to
are
go
getting
undefeated, too.
Athletes are getting better.
Yeah.
And teams are always going to be good.
Absolutely. Film's better, like there's so many factors now.
And teams just have an off day. Like it's just
Yeah.
Look at the Eagles. You thought they were going to go undefeated, then they lose to the Jets and
Yeah.
and Zach Wilson. Like
I know. No, it never makes any sense.
none of that. It's any given Sunday. You know?
Exactly, absolutely. So what's your Super Bowl prediction?
Oh man, as a Brady fan, I can't root for Mahomes. Like it's just not.
It's fair.
I've thought that they were going to lose every single game, and I've been wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that
Freaking
if I
Chiefs,
choose
though.
them,
Okay, got you. That it'll reverse jinx them.
yeah, I mean they're great. Like
Yeah.
But I do think the Niners are better. There's a rematch of 2020.
Everyone thinks that everyone's better than the Chiefs, and then they lose to them. That's the
Exactly.
thing.
I would give like a prediction of 30-27 Chiefs. Like I think like
Okay. Oh, so you think the Chiefs win?
yeah.
Okay.
I- unfortunately.
first, yeah, I got you.
I mean I keep
They're
being
2.5-point dogs. Are you a betting guy or no?
yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah, same.
I've done my fair share of.
I'm
losing.
not like crazy about it, but like ever since the Hard Rock, I had the Hard Rock app when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then now that it's back again, I'll place little parlays here and there. You never know. It's like playing the lotto. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like that's my version of playing the lotto. I'll put
Exactly.
11 game parlay. I'll throw $5 at it and see what the hell happens.
Yeah,
If
but the
I
problem-
wake up the next morning and I have 10K in my account, so be it. You know.
Those are the ones that bring you back. And that's the
But
problem.
those are the dangerous ones.
I think I have
the next
one-
day you hit you try to place like $1,000 bet and then you don't hit it and now you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose this money fast now.
Oh my God, the Hard Rock app has taken some money.
It's
from me, for
dangerous.
sure.
It's dangerous. No, they're kicking ass with
And it's
that
like,
thing.
oh, deposit through Venmo. Oh, okay, that's easy.
They're kicking ass with that thing. Hey, Hard Rock, if you want to sponsor the pod, we're here. Let us know. Sponsor FriDADE.
We're donating to you guys.
Friday bets with FriDADE. That's what I'm saying.
It's a thing.
I think we're onto something here. Before we go, I got you to have this guy right here, Magic Mind. So it's something I've been taking now. I think like 2 weeks or so. I had seen them before, and they had reached out to me and were like, "Hey, do you want to try the product?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try it out." I'm not like a big coffee drinker. I drink like an espresso like a little colada in the morning,
Okay.
and that's it. And this is not like an energy shot. It's more like they call it like a productivity shot, basically. And it's got really good ingredients. It's got like ashwagandha, which is supposed to help with like stress. And then it's got like lion's mane, would help with like focus and energy. And then it's got a little bit of green tea, so it's got slight caffeine to it, maybe a few milligrams.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. But I've been taking it now for 2 weeks now, and I generally feel like a difference in like, sometimes you deal with like that brain fog a little bit,
Definitely, 100%.
and you're like, you need something to like just get the mind a little bit sharper. Obviously, you got to eat healthy and exercise. Those are all obviously super important. But I've been doing this in the morning with my coffee. I have my coffee, I have a little bit of water, and then I just take a couple sips out of this, like 3-4 sips. And dude, it's been really fucking good. So it's better cold. It's been sitting here now for a little bit. So I mean, if you want to try it, try it.
Definitely.
But it's definitely good. I mean, it tastes good. It's been helping me tremendously. But for anyone that's like trying to get into, something else, it's healthy as shit.
Yeah.
It tastes good. It helps you. It's a good alternative. If you don't drink coffee, you can use this. And if you do drink coffee, it's supposed to like help you drink a little bit less coffee because your energy kind of lasts longer throughout the day.
We all drink too much coffee.
That's what I'm saying. So, and there's nothing wrong with caffeine. I think the worst part about the caffeine is like, obviously if you drink too much of it, it's bad. But people douse it in sugar and this and that, and that's obviously not healthy. So that's super. There's basically like no sugar in that thing.
Great. Normally you taste the stuff that is supposed to be good for you or
Exactly.
natural, and you're like,
Exactly.
This went down really smooth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
genuinely
nice.
like.
It's nice. So I have a couple too that I have more there at the house, so you can take it. So
Awesome,
maybe you get some FriDADE inspiration. You know,
man, 100%.
But it's good stuff. I've like 2 weeks now. I've been taking it every morning, and it's been nice. And
Awesome,
sometimes
man,
before my golf round, I'll take it too. Keeps me
you clear in the
electric
head,
on
right?
Absolutely, bro. Telling you, I haven't missed a putt since I started taking that.
Yeah, stay focused. Oh man, I need to take it for Sunday
good.
then.
It's good. It's good. So tell the people where they can find you. Anything exciting that maybe you have coming up soon. Just anything you want to leave the people before we wrap it up.
Yeah. So right now we're on Instagram. Our tag is FriDADE official. Right now we're coming.
Tag it in the post too. So.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, man. Well, yeah, we're coming out with new merch and stuff. This new shirt here for FriDADE, our first real FriDADE shirt, and we got these trucker hats here.
The hats. Put it on.
Yeah, man.
It's nice.
Looking good, man.
Oof.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I have my official FriDADE hat now.
We're growing, hoping to come out with a website too, come out with new merch and stuff, and keep everyone active and entertained on the page for sure.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
I like it. We're hyped. So I'm sure we'll have some stuff to collab on in the near future. I think like we were talking about.
100%.
So I think there's a lot of synergies between us too. Just help each other out and figure out what we can partner on. I think there's stuff with the golf stuff, happy hours, with the Johnny Cuba stuff too. I think there's some things there. So
100%.
Look out for some sort of collaboration between FriDADE and Stay Tranquilo for sure.
Stay tuned. I appreciate you having me on, though, man.
Yes, sir, bro. I'm happy we did it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
man.
guys. All right, dude.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Yes.